Chelsea Football Club might be on a break, but the newspapers aren't stopping. Every single striker most probably you can think of realistically is being linked with us. Apparently, Chelsea have had an 85 million euro bid rejected for the Sporting Lisbon sensation, Victor Gyökeres. I know I butchered his name, I apologize. Then there's links with Karim Benzema, Firmino, Durán from Everton. Some of you are going to say, who? Don't worry, I got you covered on that. Nkunku could be potentially back. And more importantly, Jose Mourinho sacked. I know there is a large contingent that want him at Stamford Bridge. I'm going to ask you nicely. Please watch till the end of the video. I'm going to explain to you why that would be the most preposterous, terrible decision going around. We do not need Jose back for part 3. Part 1 was beautiful, part 2 was tolerable, and part 3 will be disastrous. Let's get into it. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy football related content. This is the place for you guys to be. 55% of you have not done this from watching. It's a little weird. And more importantly, if you made it this far, hit that like button, because 1,000 likes is what we aim for in this video. It keeps the engagement going. And let's start with the video. Before you hear my perspective though, do you want Jose Mourinho back at Chelsea? Comments below. Let's go crazy. Let me know. But let's start with Victor Gyökeres, alright? So this morning I'm at the gym. I'm pumping. I've got a nice little chest day. Everything's going cool. In between my set, I check my phone. And it's a little bit important, you know? Have a little bit 2-minute break in between sets. Make sure you recover properly. And then you hit the next set accordingly. But the reality is, Victor Gyökeres, there's a report in Portugal that Chelsea had an 85 million euro bid rejected for Victor Gyökeres, and that Sporting won 100 million euros. After that, straight away within a few hours, we had Ben Jacobs, Nazir Cancela, and Fabrizio Romano coming out with, nope, there was no bid, this is not true, and it's evidently the club briefing them and saying, they are not interested. Fabrizio went as far as saying 100 million euro release clause is true. And I'm going to tell you now, I don't believe this is real. I refuse to believe that this is real. And I'm going to tell you for 3 reasons. Number 1, I think Chelsea are not going to spend that kind of money on another project. And this is exactly what Victor Gyökeres is. He's 25 years old. He's played every single year of his career other than this year in a non-top flight league. Coventry, Brighton, when they were in the lower divisions. I think he's had like 2 years in the championships, 3 years in League One. He wasn't even averaging 1 and 2, sorry, in the championship. This is not the type of profile Chelsea are going to go for, in my opinion, if they're spending that kind of money. Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, more proven entities on the top flight level. And even then, I would say they're not proven enough to warrant that kind of money. Reason number two, we know Chelsea are looking for somebody like Victor Osimhen, Ivan Toney. This stinks of made up nonsense from Portugal. Their newspapers need to sell something. Oh, let's think about it. Last year, Enzo Fernandez went for crazy amounts of money in January and an activation clause was hit. Let's see if we can get a little story going there. I think this is fabricated information. I don't believe in it. If someone said this, they're hypothesizing. Purely based on the fact that if you're paying 100 million euros for Victor Gyökeres, because that's what's going to take, what the hell is going to happen in the summer when you're going after proper, experienced players? Players that are proven entities. Players that are not Nicholas Jackson, but ×3 on the transfer fee. Players like Victor Osimhen. Like, what's going to happen then? You're literally going to have to pay above the odds. And all of a sudden, an inflated market becomes even more inflated. I don't see Chelsea doing it. And the final and the biggest reason of all, Victor Gyökeres has said already, he is not going anywhere. He wants to stay at Sporting. So unless Sporting push him out the door, which I don't see them doing, I think he's staying put and we can relax, Chelsea fans. But like I told you, I took a day off yesterday because it was silly season. I wasn't going to sit in front of the camera and try to justify and give you guys a quick update of like, this is not going to happen, this is not going to happen. I'm going to give you the full news so all of you stay up to date. But I'm telling you, I don't believe a majority of it. Matt Law came out with an opinion piece. There are 2 types of reports that get written. There's one based on sources of what they are told, journalists, and then there's opinion pieces, what they think in their opinion. Matt Law clearly, by the wording, you can see it's an opinion piece. He said he could see Chelsea go after a Firmino and Benzema. And all of a sudden, that turned into Chelsea want Benzema. Chelsea are going to be nowhere near Karim Benzema purely based on the fact that his salary is way too high. Chelsea do not operate in that salary range under any circumstances under this ownership. And if even under Mourinho and Roman, we were not operating in that sort of salary. Like Benzema, age 36, is not just a risk, it's a stupid risk. You have to make calculated risks in life, not stupid risk. Benzema basically hasn't played football in Saudi Arabia for the last 6 months. When he has played, he hasn't been great. And more importantly, Benzema's not even, at this moment in time, in my opinion, the current iteration of Benzema that needs to come to the Premier League and come back. Chelsea don't need an experiment. So for me, this isn't going to happen. Firmino, maybe I can see a world where that can happen, but even then, the same issues reside. Reality is, his wages are too high. He has got like allegiances to Liverpool. I don't see this move happening. And both players, ask yourself this question. If they become available on the loan market, how many clubs are going to want him? Real Madrid, for crying out loud, will go and get Karim back. Karim will literally slide into that number 10 role over Hesselu, and they're going to go straight back to the two wingers either side of him, Jude Bellingham, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Cruz, Valverde. Pick your midfield. Pick your poison. Pick whatever you want in there, and all of a sudden you got your vocal point with Karim the Dream again. I don't see him risking his reputation coming to Chelsea, and all of a sudden then the stigma around his career is he can't do it in the Premier League. And I don't see Chelsea doing this type of business. And Firmino is not even a starter in my opinion. What worries me is this John Durán news, right? So a lot of you are going to say, who? No, don't worry, it's not Kevin Durant, it's John Durán, right? And in this case, John Durán is an individual that joined Aston Villa from an MLS team. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's a Colombian international. He's 20 years old. I don't know much about him. I've seen 3 or 4 games. I've seen him come off the bench for Aston Villa. And it's one of those things where I saw him against Sheffield United. And this is when you know you don't really rate a player. What I remember is I thought he should have got sent off for, I think it was elbowing or punching someone. It was something silly like that. If that's my sample size of the player, that's a little bit worrying considering we need proven quantity. Nathan Gisson's an individual who's known as an ITK and in the know on the Twitter space, usually gets a lot of things around Chelsea youth correct, a lot of things regarding Chelsea ingoings and outgoings. He's just very in the know. I think he knows individuals that give him information and he relays it across. It's old school journalism, right? And I think he works for the Di Marzio camp, threw this out there. He said Durán is on the shortlist. So what I'm going to say is, I believe he is on the shortlist because he came from the MLS. Chelsea were looking at Petrovic and signed him from the MLS. So they've got no issues looking at players in that market and trying to see if there's a deal. But the question arises, why would Aston Villa loan him to us or sell him to us at this moment in time? They invested into him. The guy's market value most probably has not even skyrocketed because he's not doing enough for it to skyrocket. So what's the benefit of them selling him when they can literally sell Watkins in the summer most probably if they don't make Champions League and then reinvest that money? Or more importantly, Durán just becomes really good and partners Watkins up top. Why would they sell him? Like, it's really counterproductive for them. They wouldn't loan him to us because why would they assist us in our hope of us catching up to them, and then he bangs for us and then he's like, you know what, I want to go to Chelsea. It just, overall, I think this player is on the list. I don't see this player being the solution. He's literally an alternative to Broja or Nicholas Jackson in profile of age, profile of time needed to develop. I don't see it. What I do see happening, and I think this is very important, I think Christopher Nkunku coming back to the club and being fully fit for hopefully next game. Apparently Christopher Nkunku will be returning to training this week, and Chelsea have got no game till Wednesday or Tuesday next week. So this gives him almost a week of re-preparation. The swelling on his hip apparently is going down. He's going to be back in full training. So this is good news. This is news that puts a smile on my face. I don't know about yours, but we need him. We lack quality in that final third. We get into so many good areas and we do not execute in those areas. And whether that's because we lack quality, I would really, really love if we got to see like a fragment, like a runner game, a consistent runner game of where we've got Jackson 9, on the left Sterling, 10 Palmer or Nkunku, and then Palmer or Nkunku on the right. I just feel like overall that would really let us see what we're working with. and if we genuinely have some quality, but that's my opinion. Yo, the final story now is the one that most probably everyone's been waiting for. All right, so Roma sacked Jose Mourinho today. They dropped down to 9th place, and Jose was a free agent in the summer. There was no rumors regarding him leaving. There was always this notion that he wanted to stay. The club were going to think about it, but now that results have got so bad and they're close to missing out on Europe, it looks like they opted to sack him. And he has become available. And this has caused a massive problem and a massive rift within the Chelsea community. So you have the segment of fans that really love Jose and are appreciative of what he done for us in the past, and just feel at this moment in time, this isn't the right time. And Jose's ship at Chelsea has sailed. He came for the first time. He was absolutely wonderful. He was the bottle. He was the special one. I think, like, it's not cliche to say that. He was absolutely amazing. His second time around, he done so well in the first year. Then the second year, and then the third year, everything capitulated. And I'm not exaggerating when I say capitulate. He got sacked because he was 16th. Like, we were in a horrible state. The squad was absolutely underutilized. It was toxic. It was genuinely toxic. We played dinosaur football. It wasn't pretty. Then there's the camp that think, bring him back. We're missing the mentality. And everything comes back to, we've lost the ethos of the club and we need to get the right people in the right positions. Well, guys, I agree in the sense that we have lost a little bit of element. As a Chelsea community, we can all agree on that. But I don't think we need Jose. I think we need the next Jose. And for me, the route to go down is keep Pochettino. Keep Pochettino until you find the next Jose. So that means Ruben Amorim. That means Alonso. That means whoever is the next individual that surprises the world. Give him the project and let him build. We don't know. Poch might go on a crazy run and change our minds, and we're all going to be like, Poch in. I am not Poching. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Poch has lost me with his in-game management, with his cowardice at playing players out of position rather than giving opportunities to youngsters that deserve it because it's their position. And Poch has also lost me in the fact that he is scared to attack. And that really worries me. I don't like a manager like that. And this is another reason why I wouldn't want Jose. I don't like the way Jose's team play football. If any of you watched Roma, if any of you watched Spurs, if any of you watched Manchester United, his teams were horrible to watch. I know he brings trophies, but I've seen enough trophies to the point where I want to see a volume of football that makes me proud of those trophies. I don't want to see a shithouse our way to 0-0s away from home, 1-0 win at home, where we struggle, where we get dominated in possession, we defend solidly, we hit one team on a counter-attack, and then I'm there biting my nails for the whole game. I think we've got Enzo, we got Caicedo, we got Cole Palmer, we got so many talented individuals. I don't want to see them underutilized. I want to see them fully blossom into fantastic things. Winning football is important. It doesn't have to be in a tiki-taka way. It could be the Liverpool way. It could be the Bayern Munich way. But I just want to see expansive, exciting football, and I don't think Pochettino is that way. Honestly, Pochettino or Mourinho, I am hoping he gets the Newcastle job. I hope Eddie Howe gets sacked. Send him to Newcastle. Let him deal with them. They'll put up with him in the sense that they'll love what he's going to bring to them. The Geordies will get behind him. He'll win them a trophy, most probably. They won't be finishing high up in the league. But for me, it's important to build for the future and start contributing to winning now as well. Top 4 is what we should be aiming for this season. Next year, I want us going for the title. I really do. And I don't think that's going to happen under Jose Mourinho. But I want to hear your thoughts. Hit the like button. Give me 1,000 likes on this video. Subscribe if you made it this far, because you really should, because you watched that much. And this is the latest news. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day.